Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my first contest, official contest for 2015. And again, I apologize for not getting the contest up sooner. Like I said, Sunday on my Blu-ray update, um, I was on the verge of a question, but I kept having and hawing with it, and I even had another different scenario I was going to go through. But I finally think I settled on what I'm going to do, and I want to get this up quick. So let me get right into it. Okay, normally this contest is going to be the two prizes in this contest going to be two, like in my previous contest, two $25 money, $25 Amazon or $25 prizes. Okay, you can order something anything from Amazon.com, Amazon.uk, Zavi.com, or Target.com, Walmart.com, whatever it is I can order for you, and I'll pay the shipping, so you don't have to worry about that. And like I said, I'll do the same thing. The people that enter my contest, I'll put my names in my magical hat I have up there and pull out the names, two winners, and that'll be the winners. And the contest, I think I'm going to let the contest last, let's see, today's the 7th, about 14 days. Let's see, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 20th. It'll be the 20th. And you know what? I'll make it last two weeks from this. Actually, you know what? It'll be 11th and the 18th. That's 11 days. 11 days is enough content. Or should I go 18th? Or should I go to no? It'll be the 18th. I'll do it that way. The contest will last. Actually, no. You know what? Let me make it last longer than that. I want it to last at least 2 weeks. So a week from today would be the 14th and the 21st. So yeah, the contest will last until the 21st of so that's 2 weeks. And then I'll do the drawing on the. Actually, you know what? 21st. It'll be 2 weeks from today. Would be the 21st, right? And then 22nd will be Thursday. 23rd Friday. You know what? Let the contest be over. The 23rd, that Friday, will be the last day. So that way the contest will last. Let me write this down so I don't forget when my own contest ends. It's gonna end on that 23rd of January. Okay, so my contest will last say something. That's 16 days, more or less. All right, to the 23rd, and then on my Saturday in bed vlog that I usually do on the 24th. That's when I'll do it for my bed, for my in bed vlog. I'll do the contest drawing on the 24th, that Saturday. Okay, so that way it gives people enough time. 16 days is enough time, I think, right? It's a little bit over 2 weeks, which I think is fair enough. And when you get my scenarios, you'll, I think, sort of agree. Anyway, and I might have a surprise for the contest draw, but I'll surprise you and tell you that when I do that. Anyway, what I wanted to my scenarios I came up involved time travel. Okay, and let's just say somebody comes to you and says, that we invented time travel, and there's three scenarios, three possible scenarios that can occur and that actually will happen when they force you, kind of say they're going to kidnap you and use you as a guinea pig to do these and there's three different scenarios that could possibly happen when you travel back in time. The first scenario is they're going to send you back to the time of Jack the Ripper, okay? And they're going to send you back just before Jack the Ripper murders his first victim. And hold on, let me see something. Wow, see, this kind of be interactive. Let me see. I'm going to see who Jack the Ripper's first victim was. Okay, Jack the Ripper. Okay, hold on. Okay, Jack the Ripper. See, it's sort of interactive. Jack the Ripper. Let's see. Murders. Let's see. Murders. Okay. 11 separate murders. Okay. Okay. First two cases, those are okay. So yeah, you know exactly the dates that let's say in this scenario, you know exactly the day that Jack the Ripper strikes for the first time, and so you travel back in time and you actually watch over the victim, you know, for his first crime, and actually you actually deter Jack the Ripper from attacking that victim. You know, Jack the Ripper has that victim pointed out and planned everything he's going to do to her, but because your intervention and you actually watching over her, Jack the Ripper doesn't, you know, doesn't attack. In fact, Jack the Ripper, who had this elaborate plan to do these murders, since you deterred him, he kind of loses heart, and actually what he does is he hops a plane, hops a plane, no, he hops on a ship and he comes to New York, where he actually executes his plans of murders in New York. And actually, by stopping Jack the Ripper from committing his murders in Whitechapel, he comes to America, where he becomes the most prolific serial killer ever. So you basically uh, by stopping Jack the Ripper, you basically made him into an even bigger serial killer than he would have been normally. Okay, and he killed, let's say, for argument's sake, he kills over 100 people, 100 people in New York before, and he's actually never caught. Okay, so basically, you turn this guy who was an infamous serial killer, you turn him into a prolific serial killer by going back in time and stopping that. Okay, now the second scenario is you go back in time before the Kennedy assassination, and you stop John F. Kennedy, you know, from being assassinated by you. You know that Lee Harvey Oswald is going to be in that book depository. So what you do is you call the police and leave an anonymous tip, and they come and they arrest him and they bust him before, you know, with the rifle, and you know, and he basically confesses that he's going to kill Kennedy. Okay, and John F. Kennedy actually he lives. Okay, and he gets reelected president. You know, he becomes a popular president. He gets reelected, you know, again, and of course, and then. The Kennedys wanting power, they start a movement to actually repeal. I forgot the amendment that limits the president, you know, the presidency to only 2 terms, and they get that overturned so he can be elected again for the 3rd time. But by doing that, he starts a counter movement of people that, you know, that absolutely hates the Kennedys. Okay, and actually they run a candidate who's really out there and really extreme, and he actually beats Jack Kennedy for that 3rd term, you know, so he doesn't get elected twice, and he becomes president. And this extremist guy actually starts a chain of events, which actually leads to World War III. So basically, by stopping Kennedy from getting killed, okay, you you lead to a certain series of events which cause World War III to start. Okay, now, so in that scenario, by saving Kennedy, you actually start World War III. Okay, series of events that later on become World War III. Now, the third scenario is Professor Jonas Salk, who invented the polio vaccine. Excuse me. Who I read about didn't want a patent on it because he was altruistic and he did it just to help people. But they send you back in time just before Jonas Salk is about to discover the polio vaccine, and you actually take some back with you. You take some of the vaccine back with you in time, and you're going to patent it and try to make millions off of it. Okay, but what happens is the guy in the patent office actually leaks it that you have the cure, the polio vaccine, which starts a panic, and people start run on the lab where you have the polio vaccine stored, and people try to steal it. And what happens is big chaos, and there's riots and fires, and the polio vaccine you took back actually gets destroyed. And actually, the polio vaccine doesn't get cured. Jonas Salk, who was actually working on it, you get these radical, unscrupulous people that come along and basically burn down and murder Jonas Salk and his whole team of researchers, saying that basically the polio vaccine is God's, curse to man. And so basically, he kills off these scientists, and the polio vaccine actually starts to mutate, okay? And where it actually mutates to a point where it starts tripling the number of people that it kills. And basically you start an outbreak that kills billions of people, Okay, so in that scenario, you killed billions of people by trying to be greedy and stop Jonas Salk from inventing the polio vaccine and trying to patent it. So those three scenarios, what I want you to do, the contest, now pay attention. I know this video is kind of, now it's 10 minutes, which is more than I want to go, but I wanted to explain myself and my wacky theories. Anyway, what you're going to do is, for this contest, you're going to take a hat or a bin or whatever you want to do, a jar, and you're going to put Jack the Ripper in one. You're going to put World War III in another, on another note, and then you're going to put polio outbreak. Okay, and like I said, put them in a hat, and you're going to juggle them around, and you're going to pull out one, and then that will be hit the scenario. Because I'm anxious to see how many people start World War III, how many people cause a polio outbreak, and how many people basically turn Jack the Ripper into a massive serial killer, even more than he was. Okay, over 100 times over. Okay, so that's my. I know it's a little sick, and then, but it is what it is. And I like to have these little social experiments. I just want to see how many people how many people make Jack the Ripper come to America and be a massive serial killer, even more than he was. Who starts World War III, and who starts a polio outbreak that kills billions of people. So I want to see who's going to pick out of that scenario. Okay, so what I'll do, again, in the box below, I'll write the scenarios down and the choices, and do exactly what I say in this video. You got to put the three scenarios, like I said, Jack the Ripper on one piece of paper, World War III in another one, and then you put polio vaccine. Okay, so those, and then you mix them up and you pull out one. So I want to see how many people pick Jack the Ripper, how many people put World War III, and how many people put polio outbreak that kills billions. Just just my little thing, and I'll do it myself on the day I do the contest draw in my in-bed blog. Okay, so anyway, that's my contest, and I know this kind of dragged on. I'm sorry, but I wanted to explain myself fully in my line of thinking. Okay, so for my first contest of 2015, I know it's kind of disturbing, but I just I like interesting scenarios and the possibilities and all that stuff. And I know it's kind of morbid, but that's partly who I am, I guess. Anyway, so again, the contest prizes are two $25 prizes. I'll pay for the shipping. You can order anything you want from Amazon.com, Amazon UK, Zavvi.com, Target, Walmart. I'll pay for it. Just give me, like I said, wherever the shipping people need, like your address and your phone number, whatever, and then I'll order it the same day, on Saturday when I do the contest draw, and I upload the video winners. You just send me, and I may have a little extra surprise on that day. Just saying that, just putting that out there in the universe. And also, the rules of the contest: you must be a subscriber to my channel, of course. You must also answer the questions. Like I said, do what I say in this video. Write the three things on a piece of paper, put it in the hat, and draw one scenario. And I want to know what it is and show the camera. Okay, and I also want to see at the end how many people, make Jack the Ripper a massive serial killer, more than he ever really is, who causes World War III, and who kills billions of people in a polio outbreak. Okay, so that's a wacky scenario. And then the contest again ends on the 23rd. That's a Friday, I believe. Yep, I believe that's a Friday, because 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. And then on the 24th, I'll do my in-bed blog, and I'll make that be the contest draw. I'll do that in my in-bed blog. Okay, and I'll pull out the two $25 prize winners, and I'll upload the video, and you just send me your information, PM it to me, and there you go. Okay, and again, like I said, I'll pull my choices too, so you can see what I picked, and if I cause the world to end in World War III, or cause a polio outbreak, or make Jack the Ripper a more serial killer than he already is. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling. Okay, so anyway, thank you. This is just my way of giving back, and please enter into the contest, and please tell a friend. Okay, just enter it. Like I said, must be a subscriber. Answer the questions and do the scenario that I asked. Pull the name, put the three things in a hat, and pull out and show it to the camera. Okay, thank you. Okay, and okay. Anyway, that's it. So this is Trey Pastor saying so long, and take care.